Hello and welcome back for week 5 in the NFL with our player prop picks brought to you by Props Optimizer. It is our free prop betting platform on the Android and iOS app stores. Go there, download it, give us a try. You'll get all the picks you see here and plenty more with all the data to go along with it, so you can make your best informed decisions on which plays you want. Now, I'm your host, Tyler Wiemann. We're going to start off by going through a little review of last week. On this show, we had a little bit of a rough week, but we're looking to bounce back here. We had A.J. Brown, where Philly just walloped them and did it early, so they really didn't have to pass much. Hurts had 0 second half passing yards, just a wild situation. Bucky Irving went over, Michael Pittman went under, Lamar Jackson got hurt, and Christian Kirk unfortunately went under as well. Now, let's get after it today with some of our picks for this week in week 5. Now, getting over to the picks, we're going to start off with Jakobi Meyers. He's been over an 80% of the last 5, 80% of the last 10, and 75% so far this season. The line is at 56.5 on DraftKings. LineStar is at 72.9 with our projection, and consensus at 64.3. Odds minus 113 to the over. I like this play and I like this spot for Jakobi Meyers. We have a 5-star alert score. They're versed Indianapolis, who hasn't been all that great on defense. They've been, decent, not great, but they are allowing 169.8 receiving yards per game, which the opponent rank is 29th in the league. Then we have Jakobi Meyers, who's averaging 64.5. I like this spot for Jakobi Meyers to get over. I think this Indianapolis Colts offense is good. They're also big favorites at 7-point favorites to the Raiders underdogs at 7-point underdogs. And with that, I expect more passing for the Raiders. The other aspect is Brock Bowers still looks a bit banged up, and I think more targets will roll to Jakobi Meyers because of it. The last 2 games, his target numbers have been down. Trey Tucker got 9 targets all of a sudden in week 3, and Jakobi only got 4. He still had 63 yards. Versus Chicago, 7 targets, 4 for 30. They were able to move the ball. They could really play a little more balanced, and Ashton Genty just went absolutely nuts. So in the 2 games where some other player went nuts, Jakobi Meyers did not hit. In the other 2, he absolutely hit. And I think he will again in this spot. I like Jakobi as a consistent aspect of the offense, and I think the line is slightly low what he can do. Therefore, we're going to go higher. Next, we got Nico Collins. Let's start off with this. He's been over in 60% of the last 5, 40% of the last 10, 50% on the season. Receiving yard line is 70.5, and we are going higher at 87.4 for our LineStar projection. The consensus is 70.3. Odds minus 115 to the over here. The consensus does not like it that much. We personally do like it here at LineStar. He's averaging 65 on the year, so just slightly lower than this line, but they're going up against this Baltimore Ravens offense, who's giving up 154 yards per game to the wide receiver. They rank 28th. Then you throw in the aspect that this defense is so incredibly hurt. They are hurt all over the defense, and it's just going to give them some trouble really stopping Nico Collins. Nico Collins is a complete force, and I think he's going to be looking very good in this spot. You throw out week 1, which the Rams really were able to hold him in check, and he has just been a constant target earner and getting it done, and I think we're going to see more of that this week. And with that, I think Nico Collins is in a great spot. Also wanted to go over the team defense tool a little bit here. And what I'm seeing on our team defense tool with wide receiver 1, we do have Nico Collins at Baltimore 17th versus wide receiver 1. But like I said, their secondary is hurt, their front is hurt, and this is going to significantly hurt them for this week. And they already were slightly below average for the wide receiver 1. Now, it should put them up a little bit higher there. I really like the spot for them. Another thing, we do have a tough matchup for Jakobi Meyers, but I think that kind of works in his favor, just where he does his dirty work and all that. I think he will be fine, even in a little bit of a tough matchup. Now, let's go to Breece Hall. Breece Hall, we're going with 17.5 rushing attempts, and we're going under. LineStar's at 13.6, consensus at 15.2. And I know everybody's going to be like, well, yeah, Braylon Allen is gone. And yes, he is. But look at what we've done this year. So he 19 rushes in game 1, 10, 9, 14. Now, let's look at the snap counts over last week. Braylon Allen only played 10% of the snaps, and then he left the game. Breece Hall was at 63%, Davis at 33%, and this is how it has been all season long. Breece Hall played 58% in week 1, 64 in week 2, 55 in week 3, 63 in week 4. They like Isaiah Davis. They're going to play Isaiah Davis in that Braylon Allen role. The only difference is maybe that Breece Hall gets a little bit more red zone work than he was with Hall there. Davis is still going to eat into a decent chunk of this offense, and I think there is a very high likelihood that Dallas is able to put some points on the board early, making the Jets go to a passing game a little quicker and not allow Breece Hall to really get all those carries that I think everybody kind of expects him to go. I think his line should be closer to 13 or 14 and a half and not all the way up at 17. And with that, I think we need to be going under on his 17.5 rushing attempts. And Sean, I see your comment. I will get to it here in a bit here. Next, we got Calvin Ridley, and we are going higher than 35.5 receiving yards. LineStar's at 42.6, consensus at 51.7. So far, he has not had a great season. Now, we know he is a stud wide receiver. He has a 3.5-star alert score. He's been better in domes, and he's going against Arizona, which is a decent matchup for him. Last week, only 3 targets under and 30 receptions. That's going against Stingley, though. Stingley is an exceptional corner. Indianapolis, another spot that's hard for wide receiver 1s. 57 versus the Rams, 27 versus Denver. His run out, as far as the defenses he's gone against, has been extremely tough. Arizona is the weakest defense he has seen yet, and I think he is going to be able to get the best of them. 156.5 yards per game to the wide receiver. And Ridley's still averaging 35.3 a game, which, is right at our line here with the best spot that he's had all year. I think he's going to go over. And like I said, LineStar's over. Consensus is well over. The over is minus 115. So let's hit Calvin Ridley. Last but surely not least, and I usually don't like going to a Monday prop on this show, but I feel like this one is going to go up significantly, so I want to get it to you guys now, and that is Xavier Worthy, higher than 56.5 receiving yards. LineStar's at 66, consensus at 62. I think Worthy, we all know Worthy is the number one on this team. He came out and he played 60% of the snaps in his first game, didn't get banged up. I think that number is going to go up a little bit, and he is in an absolutely great spot. We have Worthy as in the best spot for all wide receiver 1s. With that being said, Calvin Ridley is in the fourth best spot. I think Worthy is in a great spot to absolutely dominate, and we're showing a plus 29 yard advantage where for Worthy it's 13. And when he played last week, he came out and got 8 targets, 83 yards, 2 carries, another 38. His rush plus receiving yard line is also interesting. And that one, I think, is at 66, which we have that one going to the over as well as the consensus. I went to the receiving yards aspect of it because his rushing line is like 3.5 or 4.5. And so instead of the line just being like 61.5, it was all the way up to 66.5. So they're adding 10 yards to the rushing aspect. And that's why I didn't want to take that one. Now, if this receiving yard goes way up and the combo line stays about the same, I would probably switch to that one. But at this point, I think it's just too big of a spread. We got to stay with Xavier Worthy. So those are our 5 picks for the day. We got Jakobi Meyers over 56.5, Nico Collins over 70.5 receiving yards, Breece Hall under 17.5 rushing attempts, Calvin Ridley over 35.5 yards, and Xavier Worthy over 56.5 receiving yards. And Sean, let's get to your talk flex spot. Are you starting Chase Brown or Woody? Man. What a world we're in that we're literally talking about Chase Brown or Woody Marks already. Defensive wise, this Baltimore D is super beat up. The front is as well. My issue with Cincinnati is the front of Detroit is extremely good. I honestly think I'm going Woody Marks in this spot. And because you're asking the question, I'm assuming that's where you were already headed. And just didn't want to pull that trigger because it's not a fun one, to pull here. So we have the RB1 in versus Baltimore is a 28th versus RB1. So he's in a very good spot. Whereas Chase Brown, we have at 20th. And the only reason really is showing that the rush TD is elevated. It might be hard for Cincinnati to really put up too many points here. So if you take that aspect away, it's actually a negative spot. And I just don't think you can really go to Chase Brown right now. I hate to say it. Now, Woody Marks, with the game that he had, I think it's very hard for them to roll back his playing time now. I mean, 16 carries for almost 70 yards or 17 carries, then 4 receptions for another 50, 2 touchdowns. I think you just got to roll with a hot hand, and unfortunately, probably can't play much Chase this week. All right, guys, you all have a good one. We will be back tomorrow with our NFL DFS slate breakdown. And I'm gonna try and get the underdog one out later this afternoon as well. I'm not going to go live for that. Just going to push it out like I have been. You all have a good one. See you soon. Let's make some money and good luck in week 5. And come join us at LineStar or at Props Optimizer. It is absolutely free with the viewing of ads or $10 a month. You get all the data you need in the palm of your hand on Android, on iOS, Apple, Android, either way you want it. You have a good one. Please like, comment, subscribe to our content over there on YouTube, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.